Okay, Jennifer, it's been a little bit since we've seen each other. I just want to remind you that everything that we do here is for you. If you feel uncomfortable with anything, or if you want to talk about something in a different way, please let me know, because I want to respect you as a person and your autonomy. But tell me about how did things go this week?
It was a little rough. I yelled at my husband again, and I just got really angry. And I'm just such a bad wife. I just get so angry with him sometimes because he just makes dumb choices, and then I yell, and then I get really frustrated, and I'm just such a bad wife.
Okay, I don't think you're a bad wife, first of all. I think that it can feel like that, though, really easily. But if I can just describe what I hear you saying to me, right now it sounds like you're concerned that your anger is harming your relationship, and that you feel like you wish that you could react differently to your husband when he makes one of those bad decisions, for the sake of your relationship. Is that right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so tell me about your relationship with anger. What is that like?
So I haven't really had this problem forever. I think it's mostly just his pornography addiction that really has started my anger towards him. Mm-hmm. And I think that basically he'll do something and it'll be something really dumb or little, and it's like not even a big deal, but because I'm so hurt about what happened with everything, then it like escalates and everything gets really frustrating to me, and I get angry and I lash out and I yell. Like, I'm not abusive in any way, like physically, but I just like feel like I'm emotionally like just not very nice, and so he'll run off or go sit in our room or something, and I'll just like be on the couch by myself, just frustrated that I've been angry.
Okay, so you said though that you feel like you haven't always had this problem, that it hasn't always been an issue. Can we think back? Let's think back to a day when you didn't feel this and it wasn't part of your life. Would your wedding day be one of those days?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure.
Can you tell me a little bit about your wedding day? Like, what did you tell me about the day?
Well, it was magical,
yes.
But I think like we got up and we went to the temple, and then we had our sailing, and that was like really powerful. Like, I was like crying all day. And then we had a reception, and like his family's from pretty far away, but like everyone was there, and it was just like really felt like we were just enveloped in all this love and like a promise of an awesome future, and like it was really cool. We had some Numi cake. I remember the cake a lot.
That's the best part. And tell me, what did you see for your future that day?
I mean, the promise of being together forever and growing old and having kids, and I mean, we don't have any kids yet, but just being able to be together, like we're each other's best friends. Like, why would you not want to be with your best friend forever?
Yeah, that's great, and that's such like it's such big goals, and it was such a beautiful day, it sounds like. So what has changed? What has made it so that vision isn't panning out now?
I don't know. I think it's really, a lot of it is just his addiction, and I think my lack of ability to cope with that. Like, when we got married, I never thought that I'd be married to somebody who looked at pornography, and so I just like feel really hurt and betrayed by him and by his actions, and so it's kind of like halted my future and like taken away my vision.
Okay. So yeah, so what he's doing doesn't feel good. It feels like betrayal, and it feels like he's broken those promises maybe that you made on that day, on your wedding day. So why stop yelling? Why, like, do you think that the problem can be, why would you stop yelling at him if that seems like it's helping?
Because it's rude. I don't want to be a rude wife. I don't want to be a bad wife. I don't want to be a bad wife. I want to be able to be the person that I was when we got married.
So on one hand, you feel like yelling is the only way that you can get your point across and communicate some of those things. But on the other hand, you feel like it's driving a wedge between your vision and your life right now. So, but the yelling, it seems helpful, right?
Yeah, it's definitely helpful, but it's also, I think, more harmful than it is good. Like, I don't feel great afterwards, and he doesn't feel great at all, I'm sure. Like, no one wants to get yelled at, and so not only am I hurting him, but I'm also hurting myself because I just, like, feel like I'm not a great person when I yell at him, and, like, I don't want to be that person.
Okay. So, you feel like that when you yell, your relationship is hurt by that, and not yelling would help make help create and not yelling would help you to feel like you were more connected with your husband, and like you could do things together, like you could get through some of your other issues together.
Yeah, I think that's a good summary of how I feel.
So if you were to think about how much you think you could change on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think that you could change and become and not yell?
I think like a 5.
Like a 5?
Yeah.
That's really great. That's awesome.
It's not a 7 or 8, but
but it's also not a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, that's true.
And what makes you say 5 instead of 2?
I mean, I think it wouldn't be that hard if I came up with like a better coping mechanism, because like that's my outlet for telling him how I feel, right? Is yelling. And so I think if I had a better way to deal with my stress and with whatever he does, rather than yelling, like I don't think change would be that hard. Like it's not like I have a habit of yelling or like I need to yell at him. It's just what works.
Yeah. So do you have any ideas of how, of what you could do instead?
I mean, I probably could go for a walk, or maybe, I hate running, but maybe that would help. I don't know, like, I know people run off steam, right? That's a phrase people say. I might be able to try to talk to him about how I feel instead of yell it to him.
Yeah,
I don't
that can
know.
be kind of hard when you feel like yelling so much, but I think that those are great ideas. And if you think back to your wedding day, did you feel anger at all on your wedding day?
No.
What were the emotions that you felt?
Just a lot of love and joy and excitement for the future.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And if you bring that back to now, if you think back to that wedding day and that wonderful and all those wonderful things, and you bring it back to right now, what do you think the smallest step you could take right now would be to move forward?
I think that really a lot of the reason why I don't feel like I can connect with him as much is because we kind of live parallel lives. And so I feel like maybe even having date night or something where there's like away from all of the stress, we do something that helps us connect would be really helpful.
Yeah,
for
so
me
like
to
taking
like
it outside
disassociate him with anger. Like I can start making him with love again, maybe. I don't know. That's just what I think.
That's I think that's a great idea. Is that something that you want to try, that you'd be willing to try?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. I think that that's a great step that you could take. and even just scheduling that out could help you both to connect in that way that would just feel a little more civil, like you're saying, and bring back some of that love. Sorry, one moment here. Can you tell me a little bit about what support you have for this change? Do you feel like you have a support system?
Yeah, I think my husband would obviously be supportive of me not yelling at him. I have a lot of, like, my parents are really helpful too. I've talked to them a lot about my anger, and they're really good at, like, not kind of taking my side and more of, like, defending him as well, which is good. So I think they want to see us succeed and not, like, they were there on our wedding, you know, like they saw how happy we were. So.
Do you think that you could ask them maybe for more help if you needed it?
Yeah, I think they're definitely there to support me.
That's wonderful. Is that something that you would be willing to do as well?
Yeah, I think having them, maybe they can talk to both of us together instead of just me. That might be helpful to get their advice, because they've been married for like 50 years, so obviously they're doing something right.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean it's always good to hear from kind of an outside party sometimes when you feel like you can't do it within the two of you. I think that those small steps, maybe just scheduling a date night for this week, and talking to your support team, your parents, and bringing them into the problem, I think that, or into the situation, could help you this week to feel more in control. I think there's small steps. There's small enough steps that you can do it this week, but they're awesome steps that are gonna help you to continue forward.
Yay!
I was too short.
How short was it?